why we're not. Why we're not talking about history. Why we're not talking about we are not equal. And if you see the world, we are not equal. A human being is not equal to another human being. Why? Why we are not talking about that? Why we are not talking about, if you're talking about history, and why we are not talking about how Buddhism and Jainam religions changed the Theta Kama place. How? Why we are not talking about Buddhism and Jainam? Why we are not talking about what Buddhism and Jainam religion created in this Theta Kama land? Why we are not talking about these things? Why we are always talking about God exists or not? Why? Why is that matter? Is it really matter? Is it this thing is existed or not? Forget about this once in your life. Try to understand a human being need another human being help. That's all it is. We need to help each other to build something or to create something. But if you see in this world, we are not seeing that. Even if you go corporate or upper scale life, there always comes this religion, especially Hinduism. This religion tells we are not equal in ton of ways. And why we still stick with these religion? And the reason I'm trying to figure out why we try to figuring out Sanskrit script. Why we are not concentrate on Prakritam, Grantha, or Dravidian scripts, especially Grantha. You have to Pali, Grantha, and Prakritam. Why we are not talking about these scripts? The entire Sanskrit books told Theta Kama people are useless. You don't know anything until they taught us something. That's what all this book's about. That entire script is ditching us. Why we still stick with that? I am trying to figure out why. Why you not try to come outside of this mud? Try to see other side. I mean, other side in the sense Buddhism and Jaina religions. What those religions told, what exactly they did. Why these two religions reached the top, and how it got dropped low. But we don't want to talk about that because we are too busy dealing with the regular stuff. That's fine. That's fine. I'm asking people who are well educated, why we are not discussing this, man? The way we see history in a different direction, always see the history part. If you go, you only talk about entire history is based on Hinduism. That's the only thing you talk about. That's the only thing you knew. That's the only thing you're going to learn if you want to learn history. But you never get to these two religions. They just very little stuff. The Bautam existed, Jainam existed. That's it. They didn't do anything. It's a small religion. That's what they're gonna told you if you really want to learn history. But everybody know that's not true. So a lot of historians and a lot of archaeology department people knows what I'm gonna say now. They already knew. So this Bautam and Jainam religion built temples. And after some time, not immediately, they occupied these two temples. I mean, these two people, these two religions, I mean, built wherever they built, they occupied their temples. They kick out those people, and they told these are built by Hinduism. Those, if you see, when you especially, if you go remote places in Teta Kama places, you see Jainam and Bauddham evidences. You still see those. When especially comes to Telugu place, there is ton of Bauddham historical places. How they got destroyed, by the way? How? Which people they destroyed? You know, this is what you're gonna learn if this guy came up and this guy asking about Bauddham and Jainam, hey, throw this entire thing on Muslim invasion. That's what they come up with. Yeah, they did that stuff. I agree with that. I'm not saying they didn't do it. They tried to destroy everything. Okay? But my question is, before this invasion came to this Teta Kama place, who destroyed these two religions? Go back 5th century or 6th century or 4th to 9th century between. See those time period exactly, 4th century to 9th century. What happened? Exactly what happened? How we misleaded entire history. We don't teach history schools at all. I'm not sure why. They say it's not worth it. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, if you don't know history, you have no idea who you are. It's like who you are in the sense, how this place end up here, whatever you see today in front of your eyes. If you go back, very back and very back and very back, try to figure out, try to understand history, just remove all these things, whatever your beliefs, whatever it is. Listen as history, first of all. Try to understand history. Try to figure out what is all this, uh, why we not listening this before, why we never heard our history, why. You see where I'm going with, especially even if you go to the, what do you call, history books, all you see is what? No, I'm asking you, all you see is what? You see these other people, the top outside of Theta Kama place, the history only you knew. You never knew who's your kings. You never knew who's your people. You never knew because it's not existed in our books. Even it's existed, you all talk about this Hindu religion stuff, man. That's where I confused. Entire history based on religions. In this Hinduism, so-called Hinduism, this is not the same we see today back in those days. They change their rules and regulations every day. And you still stick with that. They come up with the new stuff and you're going to follow that stuff. They always come up with the new stuff. You're never going to stop those people. You're never going to stop those people. They keep coming at you and you keep let them do what they do. Why? Because you don't ask questions. If you ask a question, you're out. That's it. They're gonna make you or they're gonna feel you like you can't do shit because you are alone. They are not. So I'm trying to tell you, historians and archaeology department people, if you're really interested in history, people, try to understand history in the right direction. Try to understand how this religion swallowed two big religions. And remember, these two big religions, Buddhism and Jainism, they are very, very, very harmless people, especially Jainism people. And this religion, who swallowed these two religions, they are very blood-sucking people. They want to see blood. That's all they did in history. In the name of, they changed the god, so many gods. I'm not sure. I can't tell a single god in Hindu religion because they keep changing the gods. It's like if they don't like it, there you out. That's it. They play with their gods. So I can't tell a single god. So they don't even know. They don't even know. Hey, Teta Kama for life, man.